Friday, April 21, the 111th day of 2023. There are 254 days left in the year. Good morning, MB. Guiding you through In the Know at 5. Country station 105.com via the Apple and Android smartphone app using the SoundCloud, iTunes, or Spotify podcast. We're on Facebook. We're on YouTube. We're on Twitter. And the hashtag is In the Know. Coming up today, we'll update you on the latest news headlines from around the community, the county, the Commonwealth, and the country. Celebrations today on the verge of a weekend. That and a whole lot more coming up today. Here on In the Know. Settling into my left, rolling Mach 9 with her hair on fire. Is my beautiful wife, the beautiful girl. It's Beach. Good morning, sweetheart.
Good morning.
How you doing?
I'm okay.
Happy anniversary.
Yes, happy anniversary to you.
We are celebrating 11 years of marriage today. Mm-hmm. This month, we are celebrating 14 years of knowing one another. And so, and then over the last 5 years, our anniversary has been trumped by a big birthday that happens to occur on April the 21st.
Yes.
And young Miss Alea is celebrating her 7th birthday this morning.
Yes.
With a number 7 candle and a big giant pancake. And she's off to school today, ready for a big weekend where she's going to be celebrated and it's going to be a busy weekend, isn't it?
Time. Yes.
Yeah, look at that sweet face.
I know, right?
I don't know how she went from being a baby to 7 in such a short period of time, but it has happened nonetheless. I was looking for Jay Sean down to play to start the show today, but it usually gets us taken from from Facebook when we play it. Okay. So I think I hid it from myself so I wouldn't be tempted. But I wanted that because that's what we danced back up the aisle to.
We did.
And so anyway, it was the thought that counts, I guess, so to speak. So happy anniversary to us and happy birthday to young Miss Alea. He is a 5-time winner of the coveted Ohio Newshawk Award. He's the 2-time Silver Sound nominee, covering every corner of the globe: London, Budapest, Rio, Tokyo, and even Litchfield. He's Sam Gormley and the Sports. Morning, Sam.
Morning, Rob.
How you doing?
Good. Happy anniversary to you all.
Thank you very much.
Maybe more importantly, happy birthday to Alea. I don't know if I mean, it's amazing how much she's grown since I've known her.
That's right.
Yes.
We're happy to share that with her. Mm-hmm. And
does she not get Beatles? The Beatles song?
When she's here, she certainly will. I just realized that also our wedding anniversary and her birthday most years is the 111th day of the year. It was day 111. So I was like, well, that's another significance. Sam, you're going to play, you going to call any sports today, you think?
Well, you see, what's interesting is like yesterday at about this time I looked and it was like, nope. And then before I went to bed, it looked like the rain wasn't going to come until about 8 o'clock. And that's where I was kind of like, maybe we would get it in. And then, no, it doesn't particularly look too
We must
confident.
be looking at different things because it looks like
and now it's back to, it looks like unless Coach Reese has boats that they might have to row to first base and
she's powerful.
Listen, when you've won 699 games, I'm sure you found different ways to win. So I wouldn't put it past her.
Absolutely. And did you have a big time at the Center on Main yesterday?
Yeah, we were. It was a busy day. There were a lot of people that came in walking away with new jobs, and it was good. They had a lot of activities.
Did you have snacks?
We had hamburgers, hot dogs. I have some cashews there in my office, and they could talk right after my heart.
Was there like a Papa Shot? I think I saw a Papa Shot was going on.
Yeah, Zach and I had multiple competitions, and obviously the best man won.
Zach.
Wow, I see. No,
I'm just saying the way you were setting it up.
The lefty legend picked it up and won by 1 point.
The Litchfield lefty. Okay, you won by 1.
Both times.
Wow.
Yeah, we did it, and
What
it
a
was I
match.
think like 24-23 and 23-22. We were having
For the record, I had no doubt that it was you.
Well, thank you. Now I can't say that either one of us did well.
Oh, well, it's all relative.
Yes.
You just
But
got
you
to do
did
better.
better.
You just
One
gotta
point
do
better than the other
who
man.
you're playing against. That's right. Thanks to Cormark for having us out yesterday, and good to see everybody that participated in the job fair, and hopefully you have new careers and you're part of a brand new family there at Cormark with our friends. Rounds of rain through tonight. We're going to see showers and thunderstorms through the evening. Now, tomorrow, Saturday will start dry for thunder over Louisville, and then there'll be isolated showers and gusty winds arriving by afternoon. I did take the time to go look at the wind direction for thunder over Louisville because we celebrate extra good. Extra good? We celebrate extra good when the wind is blowing out of the south, because then we can say, eat it, Indiana, because the fireworks smoke goes to Indiana and they don't get as good of a view. Bad news for St. Matthews, because the wind's going to be coming a little bit out of the northwest, and so it'll kind of be blowing the fireworks smoke off to the east end. But downtown, the view seems to look pretty good. So that's, I don't know if it's going to cause disruption. The wind's going to cause any disruptions to the air show tomorrow or not, but nonetheless, it is going on as scheduled. And we'll see periods of rain today, high of 66, rain and 47 tonight, and then tomorrow, rain chance of 20% in the day. I think rain gets out of the way early tomorrow, but it'll never get warm tomorrow. It'll be just about 63. So if you're out tomorrow, you're probably going to want long sleeves, sweatshirt, something like that. I don't think there's going to be a whole lot of sun to help radiate and even give you the feeling like, well, it's only 63, but it feels 68 because of the sun. I think that's going to be hard to find for tomorrow. Update on the Natural Bridge wildfire. The firefighters from the Division of Forestry and the Daniel Boone National Forest, some local fire departments said yesterday they have set new containment lines to control the wildfire at Natural Bridge State Park. Containment lines set earlier this week were breached by high winds that were experienced starting on Tuesday. This fire began late on Monday, and it began near the Skybridge platform, has now consumed around 100 acres. It's not affected any structures, though, but it's hard to fight wildfire. Fighting fires is one thing. Fighting wildfires is sort of indicated by its name. It's wild, and so therefore it's harder to
Well, you got to think everything in that forest can burn.
That's right. And they don't have evenly marked, it's not cut up into blocks where you got streets and roads that intersect, and you say, well, we'll just pull our truck up here and put the fire out. It's
terrain,
a little bit harder than that. I watch Fire Country on CBS, and you can learn a lot about forestry and forestry divisions and firefighting. It's kind of very educational and interesting on how they go about doing that. Why are you laughing at me?
You can learn a lot from. Is that not the Smokey Bear? You can learn.
You can learn a lot from a dummy. No, that's the crash test dummies.
No,
but only you can prevent forest
fires. There we go. Okay.
Yes. Right. And interestingly enough, I learned the other day, or I was reminded the other day, we call him Smokey the Bear. In the forestry, though, in that campaign, he was just Smokey Bear. We somehow added Smokey the Bear in there.
Okay.
I don't know if it's because Smokey and the Bandit, and we just kind of commingled those things, but nonetheless. Also, national headline yesterday, an IRS agent is seeking a whistleblower protection to disclose information about what the agent alleges as mishandling of an investigation into President Biden's son, Hunter, according to a letter sent to the members of Congress. Mark Lytle is the attorney for the IRS whistleblower. He wrote lawmakers Wednesday that his client has information about a failure to mitigate clear conflicts of interest in the ultimate disposition of criminal investigation related to the younger Biden's taxes and whether made a false statement in connection with a gun purchase. Unfortunately, this is what our nation has... this may be warranted, by the way, but unfortunately, our nation has devolved into, you indicted our guy, or you threw charges at our guy. Well, we're going to throw charges at your guy, and then this is all we're going to pay attention to now. Is you got us, well, we got to go get you, and it's just back and forth, tit for tat. And at some point in time, we're going to have to recover from that, or this train derailleur is just going to pick up speed. A Breckinridge County man has been killed in a motorcycle crash on Owensboro Road. This happened on Tuesday afternoon, about 3:30. First responders reported to the single vehicle wreck in the 5800 block of Owensboro Road. They found a motorcycle driven by 66-year-old Dennis Murray of Falls of Rough. For unknown reasons, left the roadway, struck a tree. He was tossed from the motorcycle. He was later pronounced deceased at the scene by Grayson County Deputy Coroner Larry Holman. Now, one of the reasons, I saw someone ask about this almost instantly after it happened. And, the nosy people on Facebook that got to immediately, share everybody's information. So I kind of was aware of it, but come to find out, one of the reasons that we're telling you about this on Friday, when it happened on Tuesday, is they searched for more than 2 days for next of kin. And they finally found a brother living in Georgia of Mr. Murray. So sad to hear of his passing and a traffic fatality here locally in the Falls of Rough community. A Hardin County man has been indicted by a federal grand jury for robbing a Big Clifty bank, along with 3 other bank robberies. A federal grand jury in Bowling Green indicted 36-year-old Ramon Alvarez of Radcliffe for robbing the Wilson and Muir Bank in Big Clifty in 2018. That's according to the U.S. Attorney's Office for the Western District of Kentucky. About $5,000 was taken in the armed holdup. He also was indicted for robbing West Banco Bank in Meade County in 2018, Hancock Bank and Trust in Hancock County in 2018, and Casey County Bank in Liberty in 2018. So
He spreads them out.
Wow.
well, but what's funny is, so you got Hancock, Meade, Grayson, but then what was he doing in Casey County?
Casey County's not that far, though, I guess.
You don't think?
Uh,
Casey County seems like forever.
I think it's just on the other side of Hart County, isn't it? Well, I guess you got to go Hart Green and then Casey.
No, I don't think so.
I would need a map.
Well, I thought I knew my Kentucky geography better than that. I thought Casey County was more northeast central. Northeast central? How do you say that? I don't guess northeast central is a thing.
It's 77 miles from here.
Really? Well, it's closer than I thought. So south of Lexington?
It's south of Danville, so it's
Okay.
like it's
All right.
it's almost if you took
Boyle County, Casey County.
It's the other side of Campbellsville.
All right. So Boyle, Taylor, Casey, like that region. All right. 2 Owensboro men. This headline puzzled me a little bit. I had questions. 2 Owensboro men have been arrested for rolling back odometers at a used car dealership. The Owensboro Police Department said Operation Rollback resulted in the arrest of the owner of Discount Motors, 63-year-old Eddie Howard, and a salesman, 60-year-old Donald Adams. Police were initially tipped that odometers were being rolled back at the dealership in February. Officers with the OPD traffic unit opened an investigation after gathering evidence and witness statements. Law enforcement raided the business last week and seized over 100 oxycodone pills, $350,000 in cash, 3 firearms, 2 cars, and electronic devices used to perpetrate the rollback fraud. Okay, so there's part of my answer. In the old days, at least the way they did it in the movies, especially in the infamous scene in Ferris Bueller's Day Off, where they spend the day in
Yes.
Cameron's car, and then, Cameron Crowe, I think Cameron is the actor's name. Can't remember. Or was he the character's name?
Can't
Nonetheless,
remember either, but yeah.
of course, they leave the car with the valet, and then the mechanics drive it all day and hot rod it out. So then the end of the movie, they got to do the infamous rollback where they got it jacked up and it's in reverse. And so that used to happen a lot. And then electronic odometers came along, and I thought, well, it would be very hard to do a rollback. But it's much easier now because you're just reprogramming the dash. So if you've got your car is basically just a big computer now, so you just go in and change the data. In the old days, though, to roll back the odometer, you literally had to put that number of miles back on the axle, the transmission, etc., to roll the miles back. In this case, you just go in and reprogram the number. But I guess I didn't realize that was still a thing, but these Einsteins figured it out.
Well, and that's my thing. Those 2 managed to figure it out. So
You can learn anything on the internet.
That is very
That's
true.
Just read long enough and it'd be okay. Drug overdose deaths in Kentucky fell by 5% last year. That's a bit of a sign of hope about treatment efforts and relieving an addiction epidemic that remains a public health crisis. That's in information released by Governor Beshear yesterday. It was the first decline in 4 years, but overdose fatalities in Kentucky surpassed 2,000 again last year. The Kentucky Injury Prevention and Research Center found that 2,127 Kentuckians died from drug overdoses in 2022, down from 2,257 the prior year. I think the more we talk about this, the more we understand the dangers of fentanyl, the more that we crack down on these things, we crack down on traffickers, trying to keep it from entering, the more Narcan is readily available and commonly available, so that when a person does overdose, maybe it's not a fatal move on their part. But it's taken a very bipartisan approach to increase the number of treatment beds that are available in Kentucky. And one thing I noticed is I think most Kentuckians would concur and say, yes, we need more treatment options and more treatment beds. But oftentimes the way we do it is, but I don't want it near my house, or I don't want it in our town, but we need it. And because they think that it attracts a different group, or, it attracts things you don't want. Well, let's be honest. It's here whether you want it or not, and whether you treat it or you don't treat it, it's still going to be around.
In a lot of ways, you can say that you want it because those are people that are actually wanting to get help.
Yeah, that's exactly it. But we have this.
It's not a prison.
We have this double standard of things, kind of in ways where we go, well, yeah, people definitely need help, but they need to get it over there. They don't. I don't want you coming into my bubble, and I get that. That's a natural thing. But if we really want to solve the problem, we're going to have to get creative and pull out all the stops, and maybe that 5% is 5% next year, and you just get a snowball effect where we get back to where this isn't such a scourge on our society. As Louisville's football staff and players prepare for tonight's spring red-white inter-squad game at 7:00 at L&N Stadium, head coach Jeff Brom and his assistants are also focused on recruiting. I didn't realize their spring football game was so late. It's about 3 weeks later than
Westerns is tomorrow too.
Westerns is tomorrow, so I guess it's going to kind of feel like a football day tomorrow, for
like one of those
spring
late
football
September,
game.
October games.
Yep. Last night I was, we were having internet troubles last night, and so I was trying to remedy those. But while I was about that time, I noticed I was on Twitter, and on the right hand side of Twitter, at least on my iPad, it shows a running list of what's trending. And things always kind of puzzle me. I think, well, I wonder why that's trending. And I go and look. And then sometimes there are the false flag trends. People deliberately just get things that don't mean anything going just to turn it into a ha-ha.
KSR does that all the time.
Yeah, absolutely. So it's like, what is that? Well, last night I saw trending Boston Marathon pooper. And I thought, what in the world? And so about that, but I couldn't open it. I couldn't, because the internet wasn't working, and I had to go resolve it. And by the time it was resolved, then we were back, working on it. I got distracted and went on. Well, come to find out what it was. A Boston Marathon runner was caught in a stranger's yard by their doorbell cam pooping in their yard during the Boston Marathon. Now, made me think,
I give him credit. In the video, I would have pulled it, but he's all the way in the corner, like he hides.
Yeah.
That's why I didn't pull it, because it's hard to tell.
So you can tell what's happening, but you can't tell with great detail.
And the cop kind of walks around, and it's like, what are you doing? And he immediately pulls the pants up and takes off.
But listen, you get out there when nature calls.
Right?
I mean,
what are you supposed to do?
You hope you've made all the necessary preparations before your 26-mile run. But
oh dear.
Sometimes you don't play your hand correctly, right? And so guess he did what he had to do. Got to get to a break. We'll come back. More on the way here on In the Know.
For more than 70 years, Owensboro Health Twin Lakes Medical Center has cared for the health of our friends, neighbors, and family members in Grayson County and beyond. We've celebrated every beautiful newborn, every successful surgery, and every healed injury. Owensboro Health Twin Lakes Medical Center is focused on finding solutions to your health challenges. As part of the Owensboro Health System, we want to keep you healthy. We want to make you proud.
Buy one, get one for $1 at McDonald's. Or as we like to call it, the can't have just one deal. Mix and match a tasty McDouble sandwich, McChicken, savory 6-piece chicken McNuggets, small fries, or for a limited time, a hot and spicy McChicken. Buy one, get one for $1. And now get any size Sprite for just $1.29. Only at McDonald's. Price and participation may vary. Valid for item of equal or lesser value. Cannot be combined with any other offer or combo meal.
Thinking about furthering your education? At Elizabethtown Community and Technical College, you'll get a high-quality education close to home at a cost that won't break the bank. Enjoy small class sizes with professors who take a personal interest in your success. Scholarships are still available, making our low tuition even more affordable.
ECTC's Litchfield campus is now enrolling for classes that start June 5th.
Visit elizabethtown.kctcs.edu to get started. ECTC, college for the real world.
Successful small business owners know that having an ally in decoding the data of your business performance is vital. A trusted source that can interpret financial reports, advise on tax code, and assess overall performance can be the difference between sleepless nights and peace of mind. The certified public accounting firm of Buckles, Travis & Hart is your ally in making sure your business is performing at an optimum level. Call or contact today to find out how Buckles, Travis & Hart can help fine-tune your business to create peak performance. 270-259-5604. GraysonCPAs.com.
The Grayson County Health Department has been a staple of our local community for years, and our dedication to serving hasn't wavered. The Health Department offers several services. We have a clinic ready to serve the community when needed. We also perform environmental services such as permitting and restaurant inspections. We have a committed team of hands workers too. They love working with new moms and dads and collaborating to achieve strong parenting skills. And we have an education academy that offers free education resources for our local schools and residents. We are here to serve you. For more information about GCHG, visit our website at myhealthdepartment.org.
Are you looking for a stable career with excellent benefits, 401k match, paid time off, and tuition reimbursement? Cormark is here. We are ready to support you and your career goals. When you join us, you'll discover a culture that encourages you to grow and challenges you to achieve. We embrace each employee as family. Our incentive pay structure rewards you based on your own performance. Show us your commitment, and we'll show you how to earn the money you deserve. Call a recruiter today, 270-259-9341, or stop by for an interview. Walk-ins welcome. Cormark is an equal opportunity employer.
Apple has joined the competition for bank deposits with the launch of a high-yield savings account that pays an annual percentage yield of 4.15%. Aaron Real reports.
Apple has partnered with Goldman Sachs to offer consumers a high-yield savings account available in conjunction with Apple's credit card. It's just the latest move by the tech company into the financial services sector. Other offerings by Apple include Apple Pay, Apple Card, Buy Now, Pay Later service, and now the savings account. Importantly, Apple's savings account is offered through Goldman Sachs. The funds are insured by the FDIC, and while the 4.15% return is high compared to other savings accounts, the yields on savings may go down if the Federal Reserve decides to lower interest rates at some point.
And Twitter is starting to remove blue check marks for verified users who aren't paying subscribers. Celebrities include Oprah Winfrey, Justin Bieber, Katy Perry, and Kim Kardashian. They lost their check marks yesterday afternoon. Tech Report, Mark Mayfield.
Tennessee whiskey.
Today is kindergarten day. I'll tell you why later on in the show. When we get to the Gone But Not
I
Forgotten.
didn't know if it bumped up to first grade day today since
first grade
Leia's
day.
birthday.
First grade day for us. It's Keep Off the Grass Day, which is ha-ha funny because it's sandwiched between 420 and Earth Day. You know, Earth Day is tomorrow. So Keep Off the Grass Day means one thing to some people and means something else to others. So it's also Big Word Day. I do love big words. I don't.
Yes, you do.
And I love to invent big words. I love to figure out, like, when I think a word might come out and I go, did I just create that word, or did I pick that word up somewhere along the way?
I can't believe you didn't do, hey kids, get off my lawn.
Oh yeah.
Stay off the grass day?
Yeah. Get off my lawn. Yeah, Big Word Day. Tomorrow is Earth Day. It's the 53rd anniversary of Earth Day. Tomorrow is Jelly Bean Day.
I'll pass.
Tomorrow is April Showers Day. Tomorrow is In God We Trust Day. Sunday, the reason In God We Trust Day is tomorrow is that's the date in 1864 when Congress passed the act allowing In God We Trust to appear on U.S. coins. Sunday is Talk Like Shakespeare Day. So you is thou, y'all say thee, thy, thine, ye.
I guess we got to call UConn to make sure he does his entire sermon on Sunday.
I think he should sing all of his lyrics
In iambic pentameter?
should be converted to Shakespearean lyrics. Dum bum ba dum. Hark. Nose picking day on Sunday. Maybe he wants to celebrate that one.
Or both at the same time?
I think. Also, Sunday is World Book and Copyright Day. It's declared annually by UNESCO to promote reading and books. Interestingly enough, Sunday is the anniversary of the death of both Shakespeare and Cervantes in 1616. Shakespeare and Mr. Don Quixote himself, born in 1616, died in 1616.
Interesting.
Yeah, so that's why it's World Book and Copyright Day. I get the book. I don't really understand the copyright portion. So, I told you at the beginning of the show we're celebrating our 11th wedding anniversary today, and 14 years together. We met back in 2009. And then I also shared with you that today is Alea's 7th birthday. So for the past 5 years, we have shared the date with her. Most often, it's very rare that we're home on our anniversary, but we are this year. And the birthday celebration gets underway today with a skating party trip. So a group of the mamas and a group of friends, mentors, etc., close circle, going to put on the roller skates and have a roller skating party.
You're not invited?
No, I think it's the Pink Ladies.
Yeah,
Well,
I think it's the T-Birds weren't asked, but it's the Pink Ladies that are going.
Now, if we're talking rollerblades, is Misty?
No, I don't
she's
think
got her yellow rollerblades, right? That she
has roller skates.
Roller skates.
No,
I guess. Yeah,
she's not a blader. She's a skater. I presume she'd be welcome. Certainly. She's very pivotal in the story of that evolution. So she would certainly not be turned away. But she may be out collecting blood or something. I don't know.
She could do that at the roller.
There may be
set that right on up herself.
There might be open.
There's no work
there
involved
might be
in that
open
at all.
wounds at the. Well, but I also know that, honey, you got back on roller skates recently for at least a brief period of time, and you did pretty well. You've got a take no prisoners attitude.
I do.
But I did hear a sentiment earlier today that over a couple of hour period of a skating session, you're somewhat concerned about falling.
Yes.
Fair enough?
Yes. Yes, I'm going to be 44. Yes, I don't need any more broken bones.
Got no time for broken bones.
Yeah, no thank you.
Yeah, you're also not carrying a lot of extra padding.
Exactly.
But so I have discovered something that I think that maybe they have it somewhere locally that you can buy.
Okay.
Airbag jeans. You can protect your assets with the world's first airbag jeans.
Listen.
So when
I am all about this. Please. Those are the places that I need because I am lacking on my own.
Yeah.
I would so wear those. Now, I would change into them in the bathroom there.
Do you press a button and it inflates?
Oh, I hope so.
These high-end fashion pieces often have a hefty price tag and can be uncomfortable or unconventional. But some pieces can be fun and fabulous for a photo op. But what does it say? I was trying to find out if they have a price tag on them.
Yeah, that's kind of what
they're a real thing. The jeans need to be connected to a motorcycle through an elastic tether, but you could also do it to something. You could attach it to something
they're biker
else.
Pants.
Yes, they're made for motorcyclists. But when I knew what she was concerned
That is
about,
super smart.
and this just happened to be in our prep news cycle, I thought
that is
she
great.
needs airbag jeans.
Yes,
What she. So when a fall is detected, the tether is pulled apart. It activates a CO2 cartridge
Oh, my goodness.
in the pants, and it inflates the airbags.
I found the price.
I see $500 to $700.
Yeah, this is $500.
Yeah, $500 to $700. Listen, if I were a motorcyclist and I decided I was going to take that risk, that wouldn't be a bad insurance policy. I
agree with that.
There you go, hon.
At that price, I think I will take my chances.
Until just don't break a hip or something.
Yeah,
and then in that case,
I say that, and it's all fun and games until I come home with something broken.
You know how the iPhones and the watches have the fall detection. So if you could just program your airbag genes with your an Apple Watch or a phone and the fall detection, it could spring the cartridge and go from there. So as I hope you all have fun skating.
Thank you. We're pretty excited.
Pink ladies, the rest of us T-birds will be out singing Go Grease Lightning and drag racing and all that stuff. Oftentimes on the show, I spend some time spotlighting how many of us in society seem to think that naming your children is a contest to come up with what you think is the most creative or unique spelling or combination of words or working in geographic places, etc. So the headline says, parents branded tragic for naming their daughter after themselves. A couple opted to call their little girl Kevly. So their names are Kevin and Kelly, Kellie. So they named their kid Kevly, Kevleigh. So not even the traditional spelling of Lee, and not the actual spelling of mom's Lee. It was Kev, Leigh, which is the hardest form of the word Lee. Unfortunately, not everyone was so keen on the idea when the post was made. One person wrote, that name isn't a tragedy, Deigh. It's murder, Murghdyr. I mean, they were just continuing on their file naming, on their naming constitution. One person said Kevly, Kevly, wouldn't be that bad, but Kevly, Kevleigh. And then someone else put, that's horrible. And this is a nice catch. This person said, that's horrible, but Kelvin was right there too. They could have inverted it and taken Kel from mom and Vin from Kevin and just been Kelvin.
That's a male name though, for the most part.
Is it?
I mean, I
the Kelvin scale. Kelvin was a scientist, yes.
Yeah, there was a wide receiver in the NFL, Kelvin Benjamin.
Can't women be scientists?
Yes. Speaking of that, Ada Twist, the scientist, is coming out with a new.
She is.
A new season.
New season comes out. That's
Amy
a good
Farrah
show.
Fowler.
Absolutely, all kinds of good scientists.
Bernadette, is she a scientist? I don't know.
But yeah, I mean, especially if she wanted to grow up and be a scientist, and she could have been named Kelvin from the Kelvin scale, like that. But I did think it's interesting. I wonder if they considered it, that if you'll just invert the genders, if you'll put mom's name first and dad's name last, you had another option, but yet you insisted with Kevly.
Well, I guess Marty,
Kevly.
like that could work for you two, at least, if you're doing it that way, if you're Marty, right?
Sure. Yeah, I mean,
guess
that's,
I could,
I have an aunt, Marty
I was going to say, you already have Marty
Yeah.
Buckles in your family,
That's
though,
right.
so
Yeah.
at least that one isn't too bad.
By the way, I don't know how many people know this, but for a while, my sister kind of floated the idea because she didn't like Martha. So when she went to college, she kind of like soft tried getting people to go call her Marty. And that didn't really take off.
Yeah, I cannot. There's no way I could call her that.
Yeah, I couldn't either, especially because of my aunt. Like it, right?
There's already one.
It was like, well, okay, there can't be two. That's just not. It's not going to work. It didn't take off at home. Let's just put it that way. What else do you need to know? Oh, several years ago, I was a very active and avid cyclist, and I would notice that my GPS, when I would ride certain routes, I would notice like I just had circle of the same routes, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. I found a group of French cyclists who apparently were very bored. They broke a GPS record. They rode across France on a particular route that made the shape of a velociraptor. Have you seen this?
Oh.
So they had to strategically go ride certain routes that their GPS in the end literally looks like a velociraptor.
That's awesome.
Isn't that neat?
It is cool.
That is very cool.
They're also smart cyclists. I mean, I guess they had and I guess artistic cyclists
Yeah,
as well.
plan it,
They had to do that.
That's
And then we talk about side hustles a lot. A teacher quit her job to become a full-time princess. Her name is, she's 27 years of age. Do I have her name? She's 27 years of age, Olivia Cutforth. She started a children's entertainment company called Beyond a Princess in 2021 during lockdown, and her business took off so big she's been able to pay cash for a $300,000 house. She's got other princesses that she employs. They do birthday parties, and her side hustle got to be so rewarding and so enjoyable that she hung up her teaching certificate and said, I'm going to be a princess for a living.
wow.
Doesn't every little girl dream of being a
Yeah.
princess for a living? And so she's, I guess, living out her dream. So good for you, Olivia. Got to get to a break. We'll come back. Got more on the way. Got some Yellowstone news coming up here on In the Know.
I'm getting vaccinated with Prevnar 20.
So am I, because I'm at risk for pneumococcal pneumonia.
I'm asking about Prevnar 20 because there's a chance pneumococcal pneumonia could put me in the hospital. Age 65 or older, you may be at increased risk for pneumococcal pneumonia. Ask your doctor or pharmacist about getting vaccinated with Prevnar 20, pneumococcal 20-valent conjugate vaccine, a Pfizer vaccine that can help protect against pneumococcal pneumonia in just one dose. Prevnar 20 is approved for adults to help prevent infections from 20 strains of the bacteria that cause pneumococcal pneumonia. Continued approval may depend on a supportive study. Don't get Prevnar 20 if you've had a severe allergic reaction to the vaccine or its ingredients. Adults with weakened immune systems may have a lower response to the vaccine. The most commonly reported side effect was pain at the injection site. For additional common side effects and full prescribing information, please call 1-855-213-2138 or visit Prevnar20.com.
I want to be able to keep my plans.
So I'm asking my doctor about getting vaccinated with Prevnar 20.
This is Kentucky, where the only thing ordinary is the unexpected.
I got everything you need.
Horse country, legendary distilleries, rivers to paddle, lakes to splash and relax, big city vibes and small town charms. This is Kentucky. Come see for yourself. Plan your road trip at KentuckyTourism.com.
I got everything you need.
Down, set, 8, 1, 1, 8, 1, 1.
The best football teams always get the call right, and you need to make the right call before you excavate. If you don't and you damage a natural gas line, the Kentucky Public Service Commission will investigate, and you could be fined up to $1,250. So make the right call. Put safety first. Call 811 before you dig.
Touchdown! Oh my goodness!
This message brought to you by the Kentucky Public Service Commission.
Here's a simple truth about higher education.
If pursuing your purpose, doing what you really care about matters.
If having a rewarding career matters.
If a better financial future for you and your family matters.
Then higher education matters. From 6-week certificates to 2 or 4-year degrees, there's an option for you. A brighter future is within your reach. Find out how at kyhigheredmatters.org. Brought to you by this station and the Kentucky Broadcasters Association.
K105 Weather is brought to you by Future Designs Building Materials on Quarry Road in Litchfield.
Twin Lakes weather. We'll keep rounds of rain in the forecast through the afternoon into tonight. And that rain will move out very early on your Saturday morning. We'll even see some sunshine around to start off your Saturday, but additional clouds will roll back in for tomorrow afternoon with a few isolated showers possible across the region. From the Wave News Storm Tracking Team, I'm meteorologist Tawana Andrew.
Tell them step off, I'm doing the hump. The Humpty Dance, here's your chance to do the hump. Everybody, I do the Humpty Hump. Come on and do the
Did
Humpty
you know
Hump.
race horses can wear out new horseshoes in one race.
I did know that.
You did know that?
I did know that. I don't know if we've had that one before or talked about it during Derby. I'm not sure, but I did know that.
Is it because you think they do specialty shoes?
I do.
That are really, they're
Yes.
so light
Uh-huh.
or they're designed in such a way
Yes.
that they basically
It's
just
like
say,
tires on a NASCAR car.
yeah, they're disposable.
A marathon runner probably
Right.
almost.
New pair of shoes. Like
Well, especially if you get a little extra. If you're going number 2, you might get a little bit on there, right?
You're going off-road.
yeah, you got to be careful about that. So, going to be lots of horse talk over the next couple of weeks. Kentucky Derby Festival.
Fuego, is that or what's the name of the favorite right now? It's like something like a one word, isn't it?
Maybe I've forgotten already. I think we talked about it on Monday, but
I actually
there's
wrote
been
a couple down.
so much data since then that it's hard for me to hang on to. But think about how we started off our week. We spent Monday and Tuesday. We had all kinds of Derby dignitaries on from the morning
Forte.
line with Greg. Forte.
That's the favorite right now. I knew it was something with an F.
For whatever reason, I have written down First Mission and Disarm.
Yeah, First Mission was one of those from the weekend before, I think.
okay.
They were in the qualifiers because one of them was from out west, I think. Weekend movie premieres. Evil Dead Rise. Well, that's something in our world. We just need more content like this because there's not enough of it out there. Sarcasm. An R-rated horror mystery starring Lily Sullivan, Alyssa Sutherland, and Morgan Davies. I think it's Davies. It's Davies. It's not. Or it just could be Davis.
That's how we say it here.
Davis County. Guy Ritchie's The Covenant, an R-rated action mystery. Jake Gyllenhaal, Dar Salim, and Emily Beecham.
I know who Jake Gyllenhaal is.
Yep, that's where it ends for me.
Looks like Mario's going to win again.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, Mario will be sitting right there. Okay, so we told you earlier in the week, unsure about, we told you Yellowstone is likely ending after season 5. Hold up on that car wash, yeah, gentlemen, because the word is now that Taylor Sheridan has decided they're going to kill Jack Dutton, and the remaining 5 episodes will be dealing with his death, and season 6 will just be post the, it'll be storylines involving the kids and et cetera, and them trying to hang on to the ranch, et cetera. Yeah, so it's interesting.
Is that Kevin Costner?
Yeah, because so they thought, well, if we can just get him back to finish the remaining episodes, because their relationship had devolved so much. They said, well, we're just going to hang it up. We had 5 good seasons, et cetera, and then people went, wait a minute, you've got a gold mine here in this franchise, right? This is what 1883 and 1923 are built on. There are through lines in all of those series that you need to keep them going, and at one point in time, in season 1 and season 2, if you try and do that without Kevin Costner, you go, it's not going to work. But they're far enough in that they got people like Tim McGraw, Faith Hill, Helen Mirren, Harrison Ford, and then they've done a really good job developing the characters. Beth, they're just powerful that you really don't need a Kevin Costner to carry that show. So it looks like, I think that's probably the smart move, is see how it goes without him.
I think so too.
He's not the only, he's good, but he's not the only one. I still have a hard time with his voice. He just growls everything he says. It's like Kevin Costner doesn't speak that way. Alec Baldwin's involuntary manslaughter charges in Rust shooting dropped. Wonder what changed. They were, the district attorney down there was just determined. And it doesn't matter who you are. It doesn't matter this. It doesn't matter that.
I've always just felt like in what I'd read that it seemed like it was a little. It seemed like it's just a horrible, horrible accident.
I agree. But what is known now that wasn't known then that has led you to say, well, we're going to dismiss these. We're just going to drop these charges?
that I'm assuming that there probably shouldn't have been charges filed in the first place.
Exactly. So they overplayed their hand because they couldn't make the case. They just wanted to do something to look like they were doing something. And I'm sure he feels tremendous guilt. And because he's the EP, will feel some level of responsibility. And especially now that the charges have been dropped, right? If you're having to defend yourself and you're worried about that, you don't want to feel any guilt because it's like, well, I'm innocent criminally of doing this. But now it's like, what a tragic, terrible accident. But the question still remains, why was there ever live ammo on that set?
Right.
The last thing you should do if you're playing cops and robbers or cowboys and Indians, the last thing you should do is have live ammo in play no matter where it is, whether you're making a movie or you're playing in your backyard. You know, it's irresponsible. And frankly, it's just dumb to do it. So whoever introduced the live ammo to the set, to me, is the one who's responsible. Now, I don't know necessarily who that was or whether we could get a clear answer on that. Will Ferrell is set to star in a live golf-inspired sitcom. So, according to Deadline, Will Ferrell will star in a new golf comedy series about a professional golfer who becomes the face of a controversial new league competing with the PGA. So he's Greg Norman?
Like, I have no interest, or I don't even know who Greg Norman is or whatever, but look at how much older he looks.
Sure. Yeah.
Wow.
He's getting seasoned.
Yes, he is.
This seems like something you'd probably watch, right?
Yeah, I would definitely watch this. It says, while the subject of the sitcom isn't confirmed, it sure sounds like a show based on live golf, and its frontman, Greg Norman, the two-time major champion from Australia, has caused quite a stir as the CEO of the startup tour. So, and it says, if his upcoming golf comedy TV series is anything like his prior movie roles, the report alleges that the show will have a similar tone. It's easy to picture the show as a smash hit.
Where's John C. Reilly?
This is golf's Ted Lasso.
Okay.
That's probably what
John C. Reilly needs to play somebody.
He's got to be somebody.
Because they worked so well together.
Absolutely. John C. Reilly's got to be Phil Mickelson or
Sacha Baron Cohen. Can he get in there somehow?
The other. I just can't. Was his name Brandon in Step Brothers?
Oh gosh.
Yeah, right?
His Brandon.
Yeah.
It's Brandon.
I just
Prestige Worldwide.
Step Brothers. I mean, the Catalina wine mixer. Such a good movie. But listen, it's hard to beat the Campaign.
Oh,
this house is a prison.
Talladega Nights is good. Get Hard is good.
The other guys.
It's hard to. I mean, to me, there are 4 or 5 that just sit up there by
Elf?
themselves that you can't. I mean, it's hard. I'm right. I mean, that Elf is a really great movie, but it's not a slapstick comedy like Step Brothers and The Campaign and those things. But Zach, I think you like him with John C. Reilly, and I do too. But he and Zach Galifianakis were really good in The Campaign.
Shake and bake.
I mean, you just gotta. And Tom Brady has threatened a lawsuit over an AI special, and comedians took down the video. Tom Brady apparently didn't think an AI-generated comedy special about him was funny at all. Will Sasso and Chad Kultgen explained the situation on their Dudesy podcast on Tuesday, said as soon as they put their the comedy special on their Patreon page earlier this month, they got a cease and desist letter from Brady's attorneys, and they immediately took the video down. Listen, I have spent a lot of time on AI in the last couple of weeks, especially the last week because of the 60 Minutes piece on Sunday. I got on a wait list earlier this week to try Google's Bard. So it's their new AI software. And I got access to it the next day and didn't have a lot of time to spend with it. But in the few minutes that I had to sit down the other day and use it, I couldn't help but think. I'm a forward-thinking person. I'm a technology-driven person. And I am a reasonably intelligent person. Google giving me access to their AI platform, I was struck with the feeling that I'd just been handed the keys to a Ferrari, but I couldn't get it out of the parking lot. Like, my mind couldn't even wrap my mind around, what can I do with this?
you should one day have it host the show. Like, and you read the script, like, just have it open the show and just see what the script says.
You want to know what I finally came up with? I decided, like, I need a simple task that I would do, and I just need to see if it can do it. And you want to know what it was? It wrote a Future Designs commercial.
Wow.
Was it good?
Yeah, it was good. Yeah. So, I mean, I just have to make some edits on it and say this would be better this way and that. But I thought, because I was standing there going, what do I do with this? How do I use Bard in my... That's right. It felt like the possibilities were infinite, and I couldn't come up with one until I finally said, let's simplify this to a task. And it worked out really well, so it's pretty cool. Anyway, got to get to a break. We'll come back, finish it up for the week. You're on In the Know.
Standing up to injustice comes with a price. It takes guts to swim against the tide. Case in point is Hillsdale College in Michigan, one of the first American colleges to stand up to racism by enrolling black students. Their commitment to their values were tested in 1955 when 4 black players from Hillsdale College were disallowed from participating in the National Football Championship. When the team heard the news, they gathered to discuss their options and unanimously agreed on a course of action. They refused to compete in the championship. If their black teammates weren't allowed to play, then none of them would play. Stories like that would inspire us to stand for what's right in the face of injustice, but they also remind us that doing so comes with a cost, which puts us to the test. Is there anything we'll stand against, even if it costs us our comfort and security? The boundaries between right and wrong easily become blurred when all we've worked for is put at risk. Irish statesman Edmund Burke is quoted as saying, "The only thing necessary for the triumph of evil is for good people to do nothing. It's called a battle between good and evil for good reason. Evil doesn't leave quietly. It must be conquered. The question we must answer is, are we willing to take a stand even when it costs us? We prove how deeply we value something by how far we're willing to go to preserve it." For Focus on the Family, I'm Jim Daly.
People ask me sometimes, Lance, I'm worried about my finances and I feel bad because I should be worried, right? I realize that inflation is going to be eating up money. I've got to do something to get around this crazy stock market and Biden's spending spree. Gold has, since the beginning of time, been the resource that God's people have relied on. The silver is mine and the gold is mine, is what the prophet Haggai said during a time of great shaking. To protect your retirement, I recommend that you diversify your 401k or IRA right out of paper assets and into physical gold. And the best way to do that is with Gold IRA from the Birch Gold Group. To see how it works, text the word DIVINE to 989898 to get a free info kit on gold IRAs. Remember, there are no strings attached. By diversifying your retirement account into gold, your savings can be protected. Just text that word DIVINE, DIVINE, to 989898. Take action right now, and I pray that your family is blessed with continued prosperity.
ENB's Point to Ponder for today. Have you ever considered that the light bulb was such a good idea that it became the symbol of good ideas?
I have. I mean, it makes perfect sense.
Right. I mean, you see, when
Right?
you see like a light bulb out by itself, you just think, oh, they're trying to indicate an idea. You get an idea from this, or it created an idea. Thought, I guess it was the perfect idea. So good for it. On television tonight, NBC has Lopez versus Lopez. SWAT is on CBS. Blue Bloods is on CBS. The NHL playoffs continue tomorrow. Vegas at Winnipeg, Toronto at Tampa, New Jersey at New York, Colorado at Seattle. UConn and Strawberry Queen will be watching her fiance's double life on Lifetime. I'm not sure what's on Hallmark.
Are they allowed to? I mean,
sure.
Can they watch Lifetime?
It's all in the same bundle.
Okay.
On Sunday, American Idol is on ABC. Magnum P.I., the season 5 finale, is on NBC. And then also Dateline NBC on Sunday.
And if the weather holds off, which I don't expect it to do, we'll be at Lady Cougar softball against Bowling Green tonight. Purples head to town.
It will be quite remarkable if they end up playing softball tonight. Let's put it
I'd be
that way.
surprised, but you never know if Coach Reese overnight built the dome down there. I haven't been there today.
It's on until it's off.
Exactly.
It's
So we
on-
have to plan
it's on
as
until
if
it's
we
off.
will be there at 6 o'clock on K105 Digital Productions.
All right. Today's highlight in history, this date in 1975, the communist forces closing in. With communist forces closing in, South Vietnamese President Thieu resigned after nearly 10 years in office and fled the country. In 1836, an army of Texans led by Sam Houston defeated the Mexicans at San Jacinto that assured Texas independence. In 1910, author Samuel Langhorne Clemens, better known as Mark Twain, died in Redding, Connecticut at age 74. I did not realize...
Shakespeare, Cervantes, and Mark Twain all died on the same day.
On April 21.
Wow.
Well, wait.
No, wait. They were on Sunday.
Yeah, they're
Okay.
Sunday. They're
I
the
guess
20
the same
23rd.
weekend. I guess.
Yeah. But I did not know that Queen Elizabeth II, that her birthday is also April the 21st.
Oh.
So we share our anniversary, but Alea shares her birthday with that. And she was born this day in 1926. I really did not know that the day Prince died in 2016 was the day Alea was born.
Wow.
So that happened on 2016. Birthdays today, I hadn't, of all the years that I've been looking at birthdays, but now most of the time, most years I don't go through this list on April the 21st.
Right.
You know, I'm not doing show prep on those days.
I guess it's me.
That's right. Hold Me Closer, Tony Danza is 72 today. Andy McDowell is 65. Rob Riggle is 53. In the face! In the face!
Louisville's own, I believe.
I did not know until today he's from Louisville. I had never connected that. He's
he's fine.
He's a lot. A little goes a long way.
He does. I don't usually watch the Fox Sunday pregame show, but he usually does a comedic sketch, and it's a little cringy. It just never, I don't know, it never hits home to me.
He was on SNL for about 3 seasons, at least 2 seasons. But he's got a very unique delivery and style. And
Yeah, I don't dislike him, but I'm not going out of my way.
I didn't know he was from Louisville. I don't know how I've missed that. But so Rob Riggle's 53 and Tony Romo is 43 today. I don't know, Jim. 53. Friedrich Frebel was born this date in 1782. Friedrich Frebel is the inventor of kindergarten.
Okay.
That's why it's kindergarten day today. He was a teacher, author, toy maker, and invented kindergarten. Charlotte Bronte, born in 1816. Thank you for Jane Eyre. John Muir.
Really? I mean, are we saying thank you?
No. We don't thank her for Jane Eyre?
I mean, you'd be the one to answer that. I mean,
Charlotte Bronte wrote Jane Eyre.
Yeah, no, I'm not. I'm just more like, are we like, is that good enough to say thanks for?
Do you know, I've never read Jane Eyre.
I feel like I've heard about it.
Something to read on book day on Sunday. John Muir was born in 1838. Thank you for the U.S. National Park System.
Is it spelled like David Muir?
Yes, okay. M-U-I-R. Queen Elizabeth II, as I mentioned, in 1926. Those are your gone but not forgotten.
First time she's been a gone but not forgotten.
Yep, that's exactly right. Let's go to Chart Toppers and go, if we can go all the way back to 1951. And Hank Snow was number 1 with the Roomba Boogie.
This is one of the songs at your prom, right?
Senior T. Senior T is where they play this.
It's the rumba boogie down the South American way.
Our Irona, when she vacuums, she sings that song, the Roomba Boogie.
How is she okay with some changes that have happened in your life? Has she learned everything, or is she still a little confused?
She got a little demanding.
Oh, is she?
You're like, what in the world?
Okay, so I made that face about Charlotte Bronte because my mind went to Emily Bronte, who wrote a book named Jane. It had Jane in the title. So my mind was going, okay. So
Now you got it sorted
yes, but I
out.
still haven't read Jane Eyre. So.
Brenda Lee, Sweet Nothing's number 1 in 60.
She's allowed to sing another song?
She even has things that are not Christmas songs.
Nobody else. Secret, baby. I keep them to myself. Keep them to myself.
She's got a distinctive voice.
Keep them to myself.
Let's go to 1969. And we could have chosen Glenn Campbell, Galveston. We could have made Blood, Sweat, and Tears, You've Made Me So Very Happy. The Fifth Dimension, Aquarius. But we selected the Isley Brothers and It's Your Thing.
Do what you wanna do.
Do what you wanna do. Yvonne Elliman, If I Can't Have You, number 1 in 78. Aretha and George, I Knew You Were Waiting for Me in 87. Alanis Morissette, Ironic in 96. Kelly Clarkson, Since You've Been Gone in 05. Pharrell Williams, Happy in 2014.
Gosh, almost 10 years since that song.
It's hard to believe it has been a whole decade. MB's Pearl of Wisdom for today. Happiness is a gift, and the trick is not to expect it, but to delight in it when it comes. Happiness is a gift, and the trick is not to expect it, but to delight in it when it comes. MB's Pearl of Wisdom for today. Remember, God loves you, and I do too. If you don't know Jesus, let me know, and I'll introduce you. Look forward to seeing you back here on Monday for another edition of our show. For Beej, for Sam Gormley, I'm MB, and now you're in the know.
Powering through the Twin Lakes with the best mix of music, news, weather, and fun. If it's in the Twin